All of that with the northwest wind 5 to 15. Mostly clear, middle 30s tonight, becoming partly cloudy, continued mild on Wednesday, high 65, 60 on Thursday with a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
I've started listening on the app
while I'm working out.
The Odyssey app is awesome.
Download the Odyssey app and listen anywhere.
Just download that Odyssey app.
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily, coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Let's go to Phoenix. Andrew in Phoenix. Andrew, how are you? Hey, Andrew, you're on the air. Andrew, what's going on? Dummy. Dummy. Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Keep this in mind. I put you on hold. You don't put me on hold. I put you on hold. You wait on hold to talk to me. I don't wait on hold to talk to you. I hang up on you. You don't hang up on me. Do not put that phone down. Keep it glued to your ear. If you have to, and you're multitasking, you can put the speaker on, and the second you hear me, quickly turn it off, pick it up, put it to the side of your head, and talk into it. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning. Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to another edition of Sports Daily. It's a Tuesday here, our first Tuesday show of the new year. Don't worry. That'll be annoying only for one more week here. As we get through the first of 2026, we get conference basketball back tonight in the Big 12. KU in action. Some pretty significant, meaningful updates from Bill Self in regards to the young Darryn Peterson yesterday. So we'll get you the latest on what Bill Self said yesterday and everything else happening with KU. We'll also get you some KState talk today with the voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson. Not just hoops, but we will be talking all the different things that have been happening with K-State football as well. There have been a lot, some good news, mostly unsettling news, I would say, for K-State football. So we'll get Wyatt Thompson's thought on that and the Wildcats basketball Big 12 opener and moving forward there. Black Monday in the NFL, lots of coaches have been fired. How many deserved it? What are the best jobs? We can get into some of that today and discuss a little further the college football playoff as it makes its way through. We just, quite frankly, ran out of time on that yesterday. But it's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now pouring the brand new seasonal Bach Lager. Bach, yeah, a cold beer that'll give you a warm feeling. Bach Lager available at all three WBC brew pubs, east near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, and in historic Delano at Handley. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Max Power has your KFH hotline at 869-1240. You can get in touch with the show via Facebook, YouTube, X. Leave your video comments there. Thanks to those listening to us on the Odyssey app, and thanks to those watching us on 12 News Connected. Here's TJ Cleveland. Good morning, TJ. How are you?
Good morning. I was worried that if you were going to be here after Black Monday, if either of us got canned like all the coaches around the NFL, Kevin Stefanski might be my new co-host. I was wondering.
Did Stefanski go?
Yes. Did you miss that?
I missed that one.
That was the big one.
I saw Pete Carroll was the headline grabber. I knew Jonathan Gannon got axed. We already knew Brian Callahan was gone. I see Stefanski now. I saw Raheem Morris was gone. There's some GM spots, and then the Giants have a vacancy as well. So all told, 6 head coaches. That feels pretty normal for a Black Monday in the NFL. Which of those jobs? That'll be a fun conversation that we can get into a little bit later. All of these.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Something in common
for this Sports Daily conversation to come back? Of the head coach of the Cleveland Browns could be Deion Sanders.
Okay. We'll have that conversation. Again, I missed the Stefanski one. I was the most interested in Pete Carroll because 1 year, right? That was the one that garnered most of my attention yesterday. And then I start thinking about, well, which one of these jobs would I want the most if I was a prospective candidate? I saw Curt Cignetti's name rolled around by some people this morning. And I'm like, 64-year-old Cignetti with no ties to the NFL? I don't think so.
No chance.
But we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later. It's a weird time. It's teams typically with patience pay off to some degree, but 2 of these coaches, Brian Daboll and Kevin Stefanski, have been allowed a lot of patience over the years. So, people act like there's a golden formula in the NFL to getting the head coaching right. I can tell you, for me, it's you got to catch lightning in a bottle with a quarterback.
Yeah, you got to have a good quarterback. You got to have a good quarterback, and that decides how good of a coach you are.
Look at Jim Harbaugh and how he has timed his shot perfectly. There are some that don't have to have the quarterback right away. I think Sean Payton fits that mold of guys that have kind of gotten to their current jobs in more recent years. He did it without one and then went and found one. So I think there are kind of 2 tiers of those guys. We've seen Kevin O'Connell, be moderately successful now with 3 different quarterbacks. Our pal Brandon Zinner probably doesn't agree with that, but what did they finish 8-8 this year? We'll see if Kirk Cousins is the future, but sometimes it's not, these guys can be okay.
That was a good Freudian slip there. You just asked if Kirk Cousins is the future in Minnesota.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. JJ McCarthy. Kirk Cousins was the starter.
That'd be a wild story. Bring him back home.
No, yeah, sorry, JJ McCarthy. But it was Cousins, and then it was Darnold, and then it was McCarthy / the other 6 guys they played at quarterback this year. So there are young guys where you give a little more patience and time. There are all kinds of ways this stuff goes, but there aren't a whole lot of coaches that are just successful regardless, right? Your Andy Reids. So it really is, as you look at these jobs, you got to kind of look at them and just be like, well, yeah, who's my quarterback though? And that's, I think, makes some jobs a whole lot better than the others. But this year, a lot of these teams are going to be in a position to swing at a quarterback. Can you time it well to say, okay, we may not get our guy this year, but maybe we have a shot at Arch Manning next year? Like, there's a lot of, and we'll see. I don't know that we have any big names, at least that I've heard yet, rumored for any of these jobs. Like, there is no Sean Payton this year. There is no Jim Harbaugh. There is no Andy Reid, even though that's been a lifetime ago, just sitting out there waiting. Mike Vrabel fits that mold. Like, those guys aren't really out there, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. So you're probably getting a lot of first-time head coaches. There's a retread rumor with Matt Nagy for the Chiefs. He's been rumored for the Titans job. They apparently already want to interview him.
Did you see the Titans asked to interview both Matt Nagy and Steve Spagnuolo? Yeah, we'll try both of them.
Yeah, Brandon's already texting me, giving me a hard time. I don't know. The Chiefs part of this is interesting. We'll also discuss that today. If you're a Chiefs fan today, I mean, nobody wants to see Spags go. Do you want to see Matt Nagy go? I mean,
Doesn't matter.
I think it matters. Yeah, I do think it matters.
I mean, I think the Chiefs fans want to see him go based on the offense. The offense hasn't been as good under his second stint as OC. But at the end of the day, like, how much is it going to matter if it's Matt Nagy or Eric Bieniemy whenever Andy Reid calls all the plays? You know.
Well, listen. Look at the success level.
There's I don't know what it is. I don't know if
don't you think it's mattered?
I mean, I don't know if it's that or if it's something. I mean, I'm just saying correlation does not mean causation in this situation, but it could.
No, it doesn't. But I think you can't ignore what we've seen either. Like, there's a lot of factors. I'm not blaming Matt Nagy for the Chiefs' offensive woes, but I'm also not going to ignore the fact that they haven't been as good since he's been the guy, you know, technically speaking, by title, in charge of that group. How can you ignore that? I mean, I don't think you can. I think it has more to do with other things, but it's a factor. So we'll see. They couldn't get Eric Bieniemy apparently out of town fast enough, and it hasn't been as good since he's been gone. What do they do now? Right? I will see. That would be such a weird hire to me for Tennessee. Why would you hire Matt Nagy? I don't get that. Like, what if his track record in Chicago makes you think, yep, that's a good fit. That's a good fit. I don't know.
And it feels like the entire, and obviously because of what happened at the Bears, like, he went viral for his face on the sideline after that one game and everything, and everybody remembers how that went with the Bears. And like, Chiefs fans are saying, like, why do you guys want Matt Nagy so bad? And then everybody else in the league is saying, you want that guy? You want Matt Nagy, the guy that coached the Bears? And like, Titans fans I've already seen are making memes about, you know, like, if we hire Matt Nagy, we're done. Like, we're done. Like, it can't handle it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to be the hire, but he's the first one interviewed. We'll discuss that today. When we come back, though, let's talk Darryn Peterson. Bill Self gives an update today, and just totally says something that's the opposite of what he said after the game on Saturday. So we'll get you through those comments. What do we expect tonight out of Darryn Peterson as KU makes its home Big 12 debut? It's all coming for you on Sports Daily. Albrocht, Cleveland. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. Avery 1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
Making our way through a Tuesday here on Sports Daily. Glad to have voice of the KState Wildcats Wyatt Thompson with us. We mentioned Darryn Peterson as Big 12 play continues here. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Maybe we'll even get Wyatt's take on just a very strange situation up the road in Lawrence. But before we do that, Wyatt, K-State, let's start with football, I think.
I thought you might.
Avery's coming back, right? We wondered if it would happen. But, man, that's like it right now. We see Toby headed to Indiana. We see Austin Romaine enter the portal, Jace Brown into the portal. We already know Dylan Edwards entered the portal. Like, there's a lot of headline guys that won't be back, even though Avery will be back. Have you talked to any of the coaching staff? Like, what is the feel right now for where this roster stands as there are, 4,000 players in the transfer portal, I think, already?
Yeah, I haven't talked to a lot of the guys, but the little bit of time that I've been there, I would tell you that I think it's kind of one of those things where they were expecting a little bit of this. Maybe not necessarily with a couple of those guys that you mentioned. I think we were all a little bit surprised by Chidi Obiizor and Toby Osunsami, but yet I've said this in other interviews, guys, and I'll say it to you. With this landscape, you're crazy not to get in and at least explore because of the money out there. I saw something earlier this morning. different positions of college football players and what the average may end up being before this is all said and done. And it's staggering money. So it's a business now. It's a pay for play model, however you want to say it. And I'll just throw this out there as an example. I'm hearing $2 million for Austin Romaine. That's crazy money. Crazy.
Yep. Yep. Now, Wyatt, my parents should have put me in shoulder pads instead of giving me a baseball batter. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you on a Tuesday morning. In the same breath, though, that was always the biggest question, was Avery Johnson and what it would be, because, no Chris Kleiman there, but Colin Klein coming back had to do something his last year, his last chance to get to the NFL. And he makes a point of pride of saying, like, there's no loyalty in college football. I want to be a Kansas State Wildcat. Like, how big of a deal is that in 2026 for your starting quarterback to do that?
Well, it's a great question, and I think it's the obvious answer. It's just off the charts in terms of how important it is. You win at this level of college football with a really, really good quarterback, and then you work down from there. I'm assuming both of you guys would agree with that, right? I mean, this is a young man who, and this also shows me maybe getting older too, but does it just seem like Avery's been there about 10 minutes and here we are going into his final season? That's how quick this thing rolls, man. I appreciate Avery for how hard he works and what he's done, his loyalty. I think he wanted to try to make this thing work all along. He's making good rev share money, but also I think making more than that on the outside with the collectives. So I don't think money was necessarily the single most important thing for him. He's been through a lot of change in his time. That's an obvious statement, but yet he has stayed, true to the Wildcats, and I frankly appreciate that a lot. And I just want to say too, going back to what we talked about a moment ago, I don't think these coaches are down in any way. I think they expected to lose some of these guys. I think they have an in on a lot of players. I think we saw that yesterday with the 7 commitments. The coaching staff is pretty much done now, so they're rolling. And I think everybody's excited about it. I know everybody's excited about it.
You mentioned $2 million, Wyatt, for Austin Romaine. Some of the rumored numbers with Brendan Sorsby for Texas Tech, the Cincinnati quarterback headed there, is for $5 million. I just, like, for me, TJ and I've had this conversation about other players. I do find it, and I'm curious, like, when we hear these numbers, I think it's a little curious, and I find it a little hard to believe that Texas Tech is dishing out $7 million for 2 players. I think what are the chances we're catching inflated numbers on this? That just doesn't seem.
You ever seen Landman, Jacob? They got that kind of money down there.
I grew up in that world. The Landman money's that's Texas and Texas A&M money. There's a little of it at Tech, but even then, like, it's not just Texas Tech. Like, it's all over the country.
Yeah,
that math doesn't work for me every year. Like, I know they've got a lot of money, but $7 million for 2 players. I just find that a little hard to believe that donors are going to keep that energy every year. Like, what's their ROI for that? I mean, that's a pretty crazy amount of money. We're talking about 15 players with what's been rumored for Texas Tech.
It's a wonderful question / thought. And here's why I say that. Because I've been asked multiple times a very similar question, but asked more in a little harsher way. As an example, is this really rev share money that they're getting? If it is $5 million for Sorsby, is it all part of the 22% of the rev share?
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, there's no way that is the case.
remember the $20 million cap that universities had to stay under? I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, we've blown to 30 plus, TJ. That's a fact, or at least at that upper crest level, right? Everybody talked so much a year ago about Ohio State and what they spent. Well, go look at Georgia. Go look at Texas Tech. Those types of teams, they spent that this year, right? So all along since the House settlement, I think everybody in college athletics thought it was going to be better. And there are in some ways that it is better. And yet I think there's a lot of worry about show me the money. Remember that line? Yeah. show me how they're doing that and staying within the rev share, because I don't know that that's necessarily
that's never
going
to hold up anyway.
And the policing of it,
they'll just say it's NIL. I mean, that's never going to hold up.
Yeah. A more power to them if they can do it, and it certainly helps. I've said this before, to help have a couple of billionaires in your donor base, right? I mean, it just does. But it is hard to fathom and put it all together that this is all. Again, I'm not accusing them of anything. I just want somebody to say to me, "Yeah, this is all coming from rev share," or no.
I mean, the big overarching thought that we've had about 15 different conversations in college athletics right now is that there's rules in place, but nobody enforces the rules. So there's no rules. Everybody brings up the transfer rule about you should have to sit out a year if you transfer. That's the rule, but nobody enforces that rule. They just sign the runoff waiver and they go along. Somebody needs to be in charge and do all that stuff, and that's a whole thing we could spend 2 hours on. So we'll change topics before we get too carried away here. We'll go to basketball. We made the joke that all three of our Kansas schools lost on Saturday afternoon. K-State lost by the biggest margin of defeat. You might have felt the best about them. They went 3 of 21 from three, and that feels like the stat that sticks out to me.
Well, it was frustrating from that perspective, no doubt. What I would tell you is I think you can look at the loss and take some positives away from it.
Yeah, BYU.
I have never been a guy that believes that, losing is good. However, in this particular case, I loved how hard they played. In terms of effort, I don't think there's any question it was their best game of the year. I think you could argue too, it might have been one of the best defensive efforts of the year. They were getting on the floor. They were playing a little shorthanded without Elias. And I think they were getting some decent shots, but I credit BYU a little bit too. I thought K-State AJ DeBonce had 24, but he also had 7 turnovers. So I think there's, you can see some good there. What I want to see happen is take that effort into Wednesday night and Saturday and next Wednesday and the following Saturday and those types of things. It's hard to do. It's hard to be at optimum level every time for 18 consecutive conference games, but you can't mask 3 for 21. You feel a little bit, I guess I'll say, disappointed in that you had opportunities. You're within 5, 6, 7 points most of the game, and you can't find a way at home. A lot of times that's how you make your hay, right? But it didn't happen Saturday.
I'm with you on being one of their better performances of the year, but I'm not going to pretend like that doesn't concern me, because
for sure it should.
One of their best performances of the year leads to a home loss in the Big 12 by double digits. So if that's your best and you can't beat BYU at home, do you expect to beat Arizona on the road? Do you expect do you expect to win any games on the road? Who can you beat? Right. You know what I mean? Like that would mean making the tournament is a tall task, and I think that's true. But it's kind of hard to swallow a little bit.
You said that perfectly, and excuse me. Frankly, a lot of us around the program are talking that way right at the moment. Where are you going to get 8 or 9 wins in this league, right? You better not lose too many home games, and they've already done that. It is a real challenge to play at Arizona. We all know that. We have a young man on our team as a young assistant coach, Anthony Winchester, who played at Western Kentucky, and he was telling me yesterday as we were getting on the plane to come down here that his first college game was against Arizona at the McHale Center. And I said, well, how'd it go? And he goes, not well. Our best player didn't play. Our second best player tore his ACL 5 minutes in. We lost by 35. But then he started telling me some of the players that they had and what an incredible experience it was, even in defeat. They're 14-0. They're winning by about 24 points a game on average. They have probably more length and skill than BYU, which is scary. But but here's the thing. I'm just going to be blunt. People will not like me for saying this in Wildcat land, but if you could get the Saturday game, right? And come back and beat UCF and then maybe win at OSU. I don't know that they'll do that, but keep grinding. If you can get to 8 or 9 in this thing, and maybe you beat Oklahoma State a couple of times, maybe you beat West Virginia a couple of times. I don't know. It's going to be hard, but I get I get what you're saying. When you lose at home, it stings in this league because they're so hard on the road.
Yeah, that's the thing is that, they're playing, as you said, one of the best games that they've played, since we saw them, beat Tulsa, which actually ended up being a pretty good win. Tulsa's really good.
Yeah.
But as we're in it now, that's kind of the conversation that every coach, every fan base around the country is having, is that the ramp has ended. You're in it. You're in the stuff. And for K-State, it's not a, you're going to be okay. Like, you'll get the bid. Have to worry about that, or you just have to worry about the conference tournament later. Like, they are right there on the bubble, and we're going to probably see their name there all year going up and down. Like, every single game on this schedule is going to matter. It's going to be tough to do against Arizona, but again, it's the Big 12, and we've seen K-State, upset teams before. We saw what we did against Iowa State last year.
Yeah, I would add to that, and I think it's a great point. But one thing that is helping K-State right now, at least to some degree, is Nebraska and Seton Hall. Creighton's playing better. You mentioned Tulsa. The non-con has helped them more than I thought it was going to a month ago, right? Cal's another one. I don't know if you saw the Cal Notre Dame finish the other night, but that was
Day Ames.
Yeah, but it all matters. They've played well since the K-State beat them at Bramlage. The point is, you combine that with the teams that you're playing almost twice a week in this league, you have a chance, but you got to win your share. Winning your share is the hard part, because I go back to Saturday. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought you could make an argument that was PJ's best game as a Wildcat. Maybe not in the rebounding, but everything else, he was really pretty good. But then you have Castillo go 0 for 5 from 3, as an example. So there are ups and downs.
It does feel like it's going to have to run through PJ. And I know that was obvious early in the season, and then it was like, well, they're going to need somebody else to step up. But I mean, this is what he did for Memphis, albeit not against competition like this. But I don't know that there's a better path than to just kind of go all in with him.
Bottom line is, I agree. And for K-State to get to those marks that we're talking, maybe win 8 or 9 games in the league, they're going to have to be a little bit more consistent, even with the scoring, which has been a strength. I'll use last Saturday one more time as an example. PJ was really pretty good. You got 13 from Castillo on a night or on a day where he didn't necessarily shoot the ball from 3 very well. Abdi was in double figures, but go look at Nate Johnson's line. He didn't even score, played 34 minutes. They need everybody to be in it is the point, and do their job. And I think they are getting better, but the games are getting harder too.
They are. We'll talk about Arizona really quickly, as we've talked about how hard of a game this will be. I'm sure that you've watched your film and everything. They're the number 1 team in the country. They've got Koa Pete, who I think was the number 1 player or one of the top players in the country, 5-star that went there, and he's looked the part so far. They can score it.
They can. And here's the interesting thing for me. They have 3 returning starters. 2 of those guys are now coming off of the bench. Koa Pete is one reason why. Braden Burries is another reason why. I mean, they have lots and lots and lots of skill. They're only about 8 deep, but I would argue that their 8 are as good as most, and maybe better than a lot. They have size. Jaden Bradley, their point guard, I think is hugely underrated, really good player. But, man, when your bench is Aristo, Del Orso, and Tobe Awaka comes off a 16-point, 12 rebound game at Utah. That's what they're bringing off the bench. And this is a 6'8", 255-pound guy who's played in 120 career games, fellas. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. And they were 13-3 at home a year ago, 8-0 this time. So they're a challenge, especially at home.
You'll hear it right here on KFH, the home of K-State Athletics. Wyatt will be on the call out in Tucson tomorrow night. Wyatt, we appreciate it.
You bet.
We
Great talking to you.
haven't talked. Nobody played any defense in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Yeah, I know. It was a fun game to call. It was a
awesome.
challenge because Arizona State had, as an example, 35 opt-outs. I had 4 running backs on my chart. I'll make this quick. 4 running backs on my chart. One of those guys played. They played 3 other running backs. 2 of them hadn't had a carry all year long and are really talented. And then another one had 9 carries. So it was a little challenging, but wow, what a game it was.
They scored points.
So fun to call.
That was cool that you were out there. I missed you when you mentioned that, and TJ told me. That's awesome. Congrats on that. That was one of the better bowl games. We had it on because it was on KWCH. We're just like, man, this game rules. All right, Wyatt, we appreciate it. We're right up against it. We'll talk again next week. Good luck on the call. Safe travels to Tucson.
Thanks, fellas. Great talking to you.
I'm excited to see Arizona, TJ, as the number 1 team. I haven't seen them yet, just outside of like highlights and stuff. So I'm looking forward to catching them. But great game there. Great call for Wyatt at the Sun Bowl. It'll be a great call tomorrow night for K-State. When we come back, we'll talk Darryn Peterson. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous.
About life insurance, I called Select.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-10-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up here on Sports Daily and all across the Odyssey studios. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here. Thanks to Wyatt Thompson. If you missed anything with the voice of the Wildcats, you can go back and listen on the Odyssey app. A couple things to kind of revisit with Wyatt there is, and we will get to the Darryn Peterson latest. I don't know, TJ. We've talked about this. I'm a skeptic with some of these numbers. The reporting on Darryn Peterson, who with NIL is these basketball stars with shoe deals and everything else. Like, I think his reported number ended at like 3.8 million. That seems big to me, but it's like, okay, shoe deals, whatever. Some of these football numbers that get thrown around, I just don't think that I'm a skeptic. I don't think they're consistently as high. Like, where people are just like, where does it come from? Somebody heard from somebody that he's going to make 5 million. Is it an agent trying to, beat their chest and make it? Because here's what I'll tell you that I have heard: a lot of empty promises in this world.
There has been
this, like promises that are not kept, players that don't get nearly what they were promised. Like, I just don't know if I can get on board with believing that Texas Tech is going to spend $7 million on 2 players, neither of which, Austin Romaine is a top prospect. Brendan Sorsby, quarterback of Cincinnati, is worth $5 million.
The number 1 player in the transfer portal, Brendan Sorsby?
I like Brendan Sorsby. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a huge get for Texas Tech. $5 million?
That's... If they didn't pay it, LSU was going to. LSU is going to pay.
This isn't a Texas Tech conversation. Texas Tech, good for them. If that's the going rate,
I know, but I'm just saying that's the going rate.
That's not the point. My thing, I think sometimes these numbers get inflated. That's my point. If Darryn Peterson is worth 3.8 million, then I'm not sure I believe that Brendan Sorsby is getting 5.
You don't think a football player is more valuable to you than a basketball player?
There's 90 of them on a roster.
And
if you're talking about actual NIL value, there's nobody more valuable in an NIL perspective than Darryn Peterson is, or AJ Devanza, or one of these basketball stars.
That's a whole other conversation, which I'm confused about, because it doesn't make a lot of sense of like these numbers. And it's not the NFL or the NBA where there's contracts that are released and you can see the promised amount that is signed to, like, these deals that they do, and revenue sharing makes it a little bit better, but like, what is $5 million? Like, is that 3 million of revenue sharing and 2 million of NIL? Like, I don't know what that number, and nobody knows what that number is. And that's
I don't know that part either.
And I don't know how you the other part, I don't know how, and they've done it for 5 years now, but I don't know how you promise like you're going to make $2 million in NIL money, because like, especially now, like revenue sharing, you're guaranteed that money. Like, you can say, you can write them a check when they walk in the door, but like NIL, like, how do you say you're going to get $2 million of NIL here? Or it's like, you call up the car dealership and say, hey, can you give him $1 million? You know what I mean? Like, if that's the NIL part of this, like, I don't know how you promise that. I don't know how Darryn Peterson, you can promise that he's going to make $3.8 million.
Well,
and that's
you can sign a contract. If it's NIL, you can just sign a contract with the,
Adidas, whatever.
Yes, right.
But
that part is simpler. I think there is a lot of, and I'm not talking, this isn't talking to any specific situation, but just in general terms, because I've talked to coaches, there is a lot of, oh yeah, you'll get this, and player doesn't get close.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. And that's the other part of this too. And I'm not with you on the fact, like, I 100% believe that Texas Tech is going to spend $20 million on this football roster.
That's fine. $20 million. Okay. Well, $7 million of it just went to 2 players. What about the other 80?
I mean, whatever. Maybe it'll be 30 million, whatever it is. But like, I believe that they're spending that much money. But there is a part of it too where it's like, it says $5 million. Like they might end up getting it 4.2 or so. You know what I mean? Like, and you can't promise a true 5. Like, there's no binding way to say you will get $5 million, especially if you're, putting half of it as NIL money.
I think my point is, like, people will hear that was it, but that doesn't mean that was it. Like, until a player says it or shows you the receipts, right? Like, yeah, we heard, I heard XYZ's getting this much to go there, and then it just gets reported because it's all.
And it's such a silly and it's become a thing where it's like the NIL valuations that became a thing, whatever this, and like On3, that's their big thing that they do, is they do the NIL valuations where they'll say, like, yeah, like, this player has a valuation of $3.2 million. It's like how much they should be worth. And it's like, what does that mean? How much does it mean?
You're worth what somebody will pay you.
Yeah. I don't understand.
And some of the ones when this kind of first started, I feel pretty good about information I was given from people close to some of these situations, and this would have only been 3 years ago. I mean, we're talking like not even close to some of the numbers that are being thrown around now. Not even close. And I brought the one up to you the other day off the air. Remember when Nigel Pack went to Miami?
Mm-hmm.
And that was for what? $700,000?
$800,000 in a car.
That was, at the time, the biggest we had ever heard of.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that in the same week, I remember the Shockers gave Armchair Strategies, what it used to be, gave Craig Porter Jr. a car, and we're like, no way. No way they gave him a car.
So that was, what was that, 3 seasons ago on Nigel Pack?
Yeah.
Valuations have jumped that much in 3 years?
I mean, they have, because everybody has
have they,
looked
though?
at it.
All I want to know is, are players actually getting this much money, or are bloggers online just saying that they heard from most likely an agent who's never been an agent before, who's just trying to get their foot in the water, be like, yeah, we got him $5 million. Okay.
I mean,
I just don't know if I believe it.
I'm a skeptic. There's millions of dollars being thrown around.
But there are thousands of players moving around, and they can't all make that much money. There's not that much money.
I don't know.
I mean, there's not.
I mean, that's just it's grown into this thing now where Texas Tech's a prime example of, they've got a billionaire alum.
That's
saying,
great.
Like,
Billionaire's not going to be a billionaire very long if he's spending $100 million a year on players for a football team. Like, it just, again, you're not a billionaire because you're bad at business. I think we have to pump the brakes on just believing all the wild and crazy numbers that get. Maybe I'm wrong. It's hard for me to believe. There's a lot of teams, there's a lot of players, and it's all got to be privately funded because these athletic programs aren't generating that kind of money. They're generating, in a lot of ways, enough money to lift the sinking ship of a lot of other things on campus. It's crazy to think about that. One of those NIL guys, Darryn Peterson, yesterday, TJ, Bill Self, said that if you think for a second this was a minutes restriction, it wasn't. It was that his legs wouldn't let him go in the second half. Although immediately after the game, Bill Self talked about the minutes restriction they had Darryn Peterson on. So here we go again now. Like, why can't we just say he's hurt? Like, his legs hurt, it acts up, it flares up, and we have to deal with it as it comes. Why is that so hard?
I don't know why. Like, I see the vision that Coach Self is talking about a little bit of, like, he was probably on a minutes restriction, And then I think that Bill Self probably pushed the minutes restriction a little too hard in the first half. And then I think he might have gotten hurt. And then so I don't know, but I think that there probably was a minute restrictions in place. And then it didn't happen that way. But I mean, the fact that you say one thing and then you change it and then say the other thing the next time you talk, like,
well, I feel bad for Bill Self because clearly he's trying to cover somebody's butt somehow. Like, oh, we put him on a minutes restriction because that's what his family wanted. But then he's getting like, why would you put him on a minutes restriction and not play him in the second half? Well, listen, it's not that kind of minutes restriction. Like, I understand, like, I get it. Why, like, he's having to backtrack a little bit and like, it's got to be frustrating to appease 3 different camps. At the end of the day, just Darryn Peterson has a recurring leg issue. He will be able to play while it doesn't hurt or while it doesn't flare up. And when it does, he'll have to come out. That's it, right? It doesn't need more explanation. He feels great going into a game. At some point, it flares up. That's it. Like that, just wrap your head around that. Like, he's got a nagging injury. Like, it's not that unusual. It's not that unusual for a player to have a nagging injury. He's got a nagging injury that he's trying to play through. To me, like that, it's as simple as that. Now, can they manage it differently? Sure, they can. And I would imagine that on tomorrow or tonight, it'll probably be maybe a little less in the first half so that they can try and cut him loose, because it does seem like it comes at the same amount of minutes played every game. Oddly, for whatever reason, I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's been a pattern there.
But Bill Self had the same, sentiment that we talked about yesterday on the topic of saying, like, there's no science and there's no real causation of saying, like, he can play 24 minutes, but the 25th is where his hamstring is going to get pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like,
but it's kind of been that way.
It has. There's been a little bit of a correlation of it, but like, who's to say, and like, who is Bill Self to, like, especially, and like the thing that the people don't see, and this is what Shreyas talked about a lot, and this was his point earlier in the season, is that, like, man, he's playing or he's practicing, and they say he looks great, and like, obviously, practice isn't a game, but it's not like they're just having shoot around, like, he's playing basketball and it looks fine, and then they get to the game and it happens, and it's like, it's just a weird thing. And I don't know, at this point, it's probably a little bit of a mental thing for Darryn Peterson and
yes, for sure,
everybody involved.
I'm going to give you here's the minutes he's played. He's played now in 6 games: 22, 28, 23, 31, 23. So it does seem to be hitting at some point after 20 minutes, after about 22 minutes, somewhere between 20. So my question, and look, I'm trying to get through Stranger Things right now, where you're just like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't make sense. And sometimes, like in that show, and I don't love this season, but they're like, whoa, it's because you've got special power, whatever. Maybe just try it. Maybe just try to play him 10 in the first half so he can maybe play 12 or 15 in the second half.
I don't know.
Why not? I mean, like, you've tried everything else. Just give it a whirl. See what happens.
They might. And I think that, like, TCU, obviously every Big 12 game's hard, and TCU isn't a scrub by any means, but like, you're not playing against Arizona. Maybe this is the one where you say, like, you're going to play 10 minutes in the first half, and then you're just going to see what you can do in the second half, and we'll see how long you can go for, and we'll figure it out. But like, I guess not 10, maybe 5 minutes in the first half. I don't know what you do, but like, the hard part about it is that being the answer just isn't going to be good enough. I feel like, like I feel like KU and the fans and NBA people and everybody involved here, like, the answer isn't going to be good enough if it's just, let him play 15 minutes a game, and, like, it's going to happen every game and it'll be fine, like, nobody wants that to be the answer. I think like no parties involved want that to be the answer.
No, I still don't think NBA teams are going to be terribly worried. I think they'll feel like they can get him in and deal and just be able to handle it. Right. Just, man, it's hard because he's so good. I wish there was a way to, like, rewire or like, if you're the team, just, hey, Peterson, we got him for 20 minutes. The rest of the game, like, we've got to be able to turn it on and play like it's and it sounds I get it. Like it's not going to be easy.
It's such a weird.
The strangest part of it is we've seen them without him.
I know
at times look pretty good, but they're so clearly better with him. Right? It's a tough situation. We'll see it tonight. TCU, by the way, who just beat Baylor, who has a win over Florida, who played Michigan tight. TCU's pretty dang good. Like this is not going to be just some simple game. We'll look at the line in a little while and talk about it. Another hour of Sports Daily coming your way. Don't go away here on KFH.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It's another hour of Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here with you on this Tuesday. Glad to be with you on this Tuesday. If you missed anything with Wyatt Thompson in the first hour, voice of the Wildcats, you can go back and listen to that as we get you ready for KU game tonight. Conference play is rolling forward here in college basketball. We're getting at least to that time of the year where we get a lot of action on these nights because we're not preparing, TJ, for a Chiefs playoff game. We can get into the Chiefs and tasks at hand right away as Andy Reid has his exit interview, his postmortem yesterday. It's all coming for you. What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where you can drink Buffalo Sweat and help Buffalo right here in Kansas in January and February at all three WBC locations. A portion of proceeds from every draft pint of Buffalo Sweat Oatmeal Cream Stout will help support Maxwell Wildlife Refuge. WBC pizza and beer made here. It's Black Monday in the NFL. We've chatted a bit about that. Something else we haven't talked about at all is we hear from him yesterday after the extension. Matt Quatraro extended for the Kansas City Royals, TJ. It's a few days old now, but we can react to that just a little bit here. A lot of people love it. I'm fine with it. I guess I'm kind of indifferent with it. I think he's done a good job. I think 2 years ago, they far exceeded expectations. His first year was not good. And last year was probably good enough to warrant an extension, but certainly not something I would hope the organization is comfortable with. But, I think the timing was probably about right. But, last year wasn't good enough. I just don't want that to be like the standard, I suppose. Like I don't think they reached my expectation last year.
I don't think they did either, but I think that you and I have both agreed that it was an unfortunate circumstance of 15 injuries, 20 injuries that they had throughout the course of the year that kind of derailed them a little bit. I think the biggest reason to say that it was the right time to do it is they've just kind of been pulled, from the depths of hell of where they were. And he was a part of the 1 year that they were the worst team in baseball. I know that, but they weren't even relevant basically. And then, to make the playoffs and then to be relevant, you kind of just got to ride the hot hand until the hand isn't hot enough anymore. This year is kind of the year that I think that we'll see, as long as everybody gets back healthy, like they should be, this is the year that you'll see, what it does look like. And if it's a letdown this year with a healthy roster, then it's I don't know. But there's an argument to be made that, in the last 2 decades, there's been 2 managers of relevance for the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
So you got to keep them when you can.
I agree. Look, it was fine. Here's the other thing that I would say concerns me a little bit. Michael Garcia took a step forward, but I would like to see some offensive players take a step forward. I would like to see development at the big league level for some of the hitters on the roster. I think, Jonathan India probably didn't quite live up to expectation, although it appears that they're comfortable with him having an everyday role again this year. Bobby Witt Jr. was awesome as always, but I don't know that he replicated his year before. Vinny Pasquantino ended there, but it took him a minute to start. And now we have to see Jack Caglione take the next step in his development. Like, that stuff matters too. And so, for me with Quatraro, like, are they developing at the big league level at a clip that we're comfortable with? Because the offense has been pretty bad holistically for a couple of years now. And they have, to me, too many talented players individually on the offense for collectively it to struggle as much as it has for most of the last 2 years. So that's the big thing for me. Yes, they did fine last year. They did not reach expectations, but there are reasons for it that aren't excuses. They're legitimate reasons. Now we got to see this team come out. Why can't this team score more runs? Right? That's a question I think that has to be answered. And I think you have to start with Matt Quatraro, whether it's his responsibility or coaches. This should be a better offense than it's been. I don't think that's unfair at all. I mean, I think that's a fact. They should be better offensively than they've been the last 2 years.
It should be, but I think in the same breath of that conversation of that, criticism is that, before he got here, the Kansas City Royals scored 10 runs a game and lost a lot of the time. Like, the pitching was terrible, and they've kind of turned it into something of, him and his staff of the analytic side of it and everything that you talk about, the development of what they did with the Tampa Bay Rays before he got over here. The hitting, took a regression last year and this year, or this past season and a little bit of the year one before, but the pitching was good. And so, beggars can't be choosers. You got one thing. Now you kind of need the other one if you want to take the next step, and we'll see what that looks like.
Beggars can't be choosers, but the Royals aren't beggars anymore. Like, those days are gone. They're not beggars. They're a team with a talented roster that the front office has spent a lot of money on, and especially relatively speaking. And now it's time to deliver, and they should be in contention. And while Bobby Witt Jr. is there, and you've still got Salvador Perez, and you've got this kind of pitching staff, it needs to be a team that makes multiple playoff appearances. And I think if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's going to be a really big disappointment, bigger than it was last year. All the things that happened to them last year for them not to get there, you at least had the opportunity to get Cags that first bit of, reps at the big league level. Now you should be getting back many of those arms who were hurt a year ago. They've done another, in my opinion, really nice job this offseason in retooling a bullpen, in getting some options out there, a little younger options in the outfield. Is it the big bat that fans had hoped for? It's not, but I think that's okay as long as you get continued development of your young hitters, as long as Maikel Garcia is not a flash in the pan, as long as Bobby Witt Jr. continues to go, as long as Vinny Pasquantino doesn't start slow and does what he's been doing. I think that the pressure's on Quatraro with the extension. Okay, vote of confidence from the front office. It was the correct one. I agree with it. But that doesn't mean anything if you don't go win this year, because I think the expectation needs to be to make the playoffs this year. It was that last year, and they didn't make it.
It's true. I'm with you 100%. If they're healthy, they should be a playoff team. They should be a team that competes, for the Central right there with the Tigers. Tigers are really good, but I think the Royals are, should be right there in the same breath. If their offense is what the offense should be compared to what it has been in the past with the pitching that they've had, like it should be a team that should be right there with them. So
it should be. Quick other things before we get into some of these coaching vacancies and the rhyme or reason for it in the next segment. What did you make of Andy Reid's exit interview? Anything?
I mean, not really. He didn't say anything of substance, basically, other than they had the interviews and he was just going to wait and see what everything's going on. I'm reading through it right now, actually, but they talked a lot about
it. Wasn't much.
They talked a lot about the Matt Nagy situation and what all that would look like if that were to happen. And he basically just kind of said, "We'll just see what happens and we'll figure that out."
He's got to have a plan.
He does.
I think it would be good for the team. That's not even a knock on Nagy, honestly. I mean, it kind of is, I guess.
I think the real conversation to have about this at this point, because Matt Nagy's a free agent. He's not under contract. Like
this is the Bieniemy situation all over again.
Do they bring him back?
Ever going to just let somebody go? But like,
that's the question. Are they going like? I don't think it's whether he gets hired. Like, will he be back one way or another? What if he doesn't get hired? Are the Chiefs going to bring him back?
I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think they know they need a fresh set of eyes. And again, that's what I mean. Like, that's not totally to me a knock on Nagy. Not getting it to me. I just like for the Chiefs, they need a fresh set of eyes on that offense.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and the fact of the matter is, like, you can't go 6-11 and just say, yeah, that was fine. Let's just try it again. Like we were almost there, you know, like you can run it back in some situations. Like whenever you have the worst season you've had in over a decade, like something you can't just say like, well, you know, ball didn't fall our way. Let's try it again next year. Like you have to change something. The roster will be different, but you know,
but like you can not be satisfied with the offensive output, but also say, well, what are you going to do? Like, the offensive line looks in place and talented. Where you got like Rashee Rice is talented. Xavier Worthy will be healthy. Can they get Travis? It's not like those pieces individually aren't good. They are. That's what I mean with a new set of eyes. I think like, how can we better utilize the pieces that we have? I think the pieces, I'm more concerned with how the defense retools it than the offense to some degree. Who can come in and say, boy, let's redefine our run game. We have more money and resources invested in our offensive line as any team in football. Why don't we try to lean into that a little bit? How can we better utilize one of the best interior offensive lines in football and kind of just do offense a little differently next year and see if we can? Because the reality is, even if it goes against every fiber of Andy Reid's being, which it doesn't, by the way. He has been a coach who's run the ball plenty over his career. Mahomes is coming off an ACL injury. Like, you kind of got to do it just to protect Mahomes. Last year, when Mahomes was under siege, they ran the ball more than they have in a really long time. They're willing to do it. They're more willing, I think, than Andy Reid gets credit for. So that's where it's like a new set of eyes. Yeah, that'd probably be good. Who can come in and regroup your run game? We'll see what they do. We're not going to get a lot of information, but we'll certainly watch these coaching decisions closely. Let's talk about them next. Pipe dream coaches, wildest coaches. What's the best job available? We'll talk about it all. We'll continue on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. If you want to win some HTO iced tea, a free cup on us at any of the Wichita Metro locations, east, west, or in Derby, all you have to do right now is text us the keyword tea, T-E-A, to the short code 20357. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. New flavor launch coming Monday if you want to hang on to that if you win until then. But it's tea to the short code 20357. Free cup of tea from us at HTO. Good luck, everybody. We come back. It is now the Tuesday following Black Monday. 6 NFL head coaching vacancies. We don't believe there will be any more, do we? I don't think we do. We had 2 come midseason with the Giants and the Titans. And then Monday, we see Jonathan Gannon fired from Arizona. We see Kevin Stefanski fired from Cleveland. We see Raheem Morris fired from Atlanta. And we see Pete Carroll fired from Vegas. 6 jobs open. None of them are terribly attractive, I will admit. But as you look at them, let's say you're the top guy, whoever that might be, and you could take your pick. Who does coach Cleveland? Where is your spot? If
I'm going to a team,
if you could pick any of these teams to be the head coach of, where do you think the most success is coming.
What are my options again? Tennessee, New York, Cleveland, Arizona, Vegas
and Atlanta.
Atlanta. Ooh, Atlanta probably. I think Atlanta. I can't believe Atlanta hired. Like, Stefanski's a big deal because he was a stud of a coach. Like, and everybody's going to want to hire him. But I think that Atlanta, like, they had kind of something brewing a little bit, and like they got derailed by a
pretty
disappointing injury from their quarterback. And I wouldn't have fired Raheem Morris. I thought he had at least one more year. Like, obviously it was a letdown, but like, I think that team is awesome. Like, they've got so many weapons. If they can retain what they've got. Penix is a question mark of what he's going to be in his career because he hasn't shown that he's going to be a star at the quarterback position. But like the Bijan and the Drake London and the Mooney.
How many winning seasons do you think Raheem Morris had at Atlanta?
0.
Yeah.
I mean, did any of these guys have winning seasons except Stefanski?
Jonathan Gannon did last year, didn't he? I'm not sure. I mean, Pete Carroll's a legend, obviously. So Morris was a little bit weird. He interimed, right, he'd been in Atlanta twice. I think that Atlanta's probably underachieved. I get that one. I like Raheem Morris, by the way. I think he's got a Spags feel. He's going to go be awesome somewhere at whatever he does. But I get I get letting him go. It wasn't working. I don't, it's hard for me to imagine taking a young, like a Penix, a young quarterback, and pairing them with a defensive minded coach. I think that's always an interesting strategy. I love defensive minded head coaches, and look, sometimes it works, right? Look at Vrabel and Drake May right now in New England. But for the most part, it makes more sense to me to pair that, and it could have something to do with that. Stefanski could never get out of the way of bad quarterback situations. Stefanski ought to just chill and wait for that next opening that has a decent quarterback spot, or go to the team that I would give you as the team that's in the best position to like be successful next year. To me, is Arizona. I don't know and that's not necessarily like an endorsement of Kyler Murray. It's not at all, but they have a lot of really talented players up and down that roster. And I think that Jacoby Brissett was effective there enough that it's like, okay, like Murray's going to be able to give you something. Like if I'm a prospective quarterback, and who would that be this offseason? Boy, who's going to be like the Sam Darnold of this class? I'm not sure, but like Arizona feels like the safest job to me. Maybe we should put it that way. The Raiders feel like they got nothing going for them. The Giants have Jackson Dart.
The Raiders job, I want to ask you about the Raiders job, because this is the thing that we have now seen the trend of. If you are a coach with a first overall pick quarterback, you will get fired, basically, is what we've seen every single time in the last decade, basically. What if you take the job with the first pick? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you
do you love any of the quarterbacks in the class? You that in Mendoza?
Yeah, he'll be the first pick.
I mean, that feels Cam Wardy to me. Like, it's not.
I've got here. I got a list for you. Upcoming per Spotrac, the top two. I don't know what they're ranking these by. Top two quarterbacks that are becoming free agents this offseason are Daniel Jones and Aaron Rodgers.
Which you can't take Jones. Shoot. Rodgers would return to Pittsburgh before he'd be an actual free agent. There may not be that one. So at that point, you're rolling with Kyler Murray, and maybe you can roll with a Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett combo again.
Yeah.
Which would be okay. Like, Arizona's offense was not the challenge this year for them. Like, they showed they can be a really effective offense and probably can continue to do that. That would be the job. Like, look, if I'm taking one of these jobs, it's Arizona. The Giants have Jackson Dart, if you believe in Jackson Dart. And I do to some degree, but I don't believe in his ability to stay on the field. So that one terrifies me. But they do have Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbo coming back.
I know. I almost think I'd put the Giants above the Cardinals, honestly.
Probably. Those are the two for me where it's like, okay, they've got something cooking here. Cleveland, great defense. You can start there. Do you believe in Shedeur Sanders? I thought he was the best quarterback in the class. That's not saying a ton at this point. I don't know that I still think that, but I think you can make the case. Tennessee, you're stuck with Cam Ward. Don't think you like that one very much. And the
Cleveland would be
the
fun.
Raiders have got nothing going for them at this point. I mean, what do you, Brock Bowers? Excited about Brock Bowers? Because that's about it. Ashton Genty, I suppose. Like
And
the
Fernando
Raiders,
Mendoza.
the Raiders could reinvent themselves a little bit. The Raiders
It'd be a fun
could
job.
invest in that
I
offensive line.
I would
and run
rather
the
take the
ball.
Raiders job. I'd rather take the Raiders job than the Titans job by far.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. Because the Raiders aren't stuck with anybody.
Yeah.
Even if you had to roll out Geno again, but if they could block it up a little bit, Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty is not a bad way to start for a run.
And the first overall pick.
But are you taking an offensive lineman first overall? Or are you going to get pressured into taking the quarterback? Because if you're pressured into taking the quarterback, I'm not sure I want the Raiders job because I don't believe in any of these quarterbacks at this point. I love Mendoza's story and everything, but I don't think he's like all of a sudden going to be this great pro quarterback. So you're pressured there. If you're the Raiders, the one thing about the Titans is you're not pressured, right? You're going to at least give Cam Ward one more year so you can take whoever you want at that spot. But the Giants get the draft capital, and I mean Jackson Dart, at least you can run with Dart for a year and be justified in it, and then just kind of lean into some of the other really talented players that they have. So the Giants might be, I might slip the Giants ahead of the Cardinals, but the Cardinals, the biggest problem for the Cardinals this year is they played in one of the historically best divisions we've ever seen. And that division was stupid this year. I think they've
that's
got
that's the hard part of that as well. Is if you take that job, none of those other teams are getting any worse.
Well, they're getting older. I mean, they're getting
True.
a little older. Stafford and Devontae Adams, how much longer can they press it forward? The Niners are certainly getting older. So I don't know that one too. You also got to look at this if you're a prospective coach and say, okay, which organization feels like it's in the best spot? Tennessee seems like a freaking mess right now. Letting go of Vrabel is just ridiculous. But do you want to touch the Raiders right now with the Tom Brady situation? They just fired Pete Carroll after 1 year. That's Pete Carroll. Okay. I'm a little hesitant there. The Giants gave Dable a long leash. The Browns gave Stefanski a long leash. So you got to think about that stuff too. It's none of them are great jobs, I don't think. So that's where we're probably going to see. And I don't know that there is that coach out there just kind of waiting for, like, the Harbaugh of this year's coaching carousel doesn't seem like it's out there for me. I think you're going to see a lot of very uninspired coaching hires. And sometimes those work out. Sometimes those end up being great hires. But,
I got a list
Nagy hires feel like they're coming.
I got a list for you from Fox Sports. Matt Nagy, Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady, Robert Saleh, Cliff Kingsbury, Vance Joseph, Broncos DC, Packers DC Jeff Hafley, Rams DC Chris Shula, Chargers DC Jesse Minter, Seahawks OC Clint Kubiak, Vikings DC Brian Flores, and Kevin Stefanski.
Well, Stefanski would be great, but I think Stefanski should wait. Clint Kubiak's done a hell of a job. I would, depending on the situation, like Kingsbury would make a ton of sense if you're just like, and this is the way teams should think, in my opinion. Like, if your sole focus is to go in and develop a quarterback, I think you could seriously consider Cliff Kingsbury. You just have to understand, like, yeah, he hasn't really won games anyway. He didn't win a bunch of games at Texas Tech. He didn't want to win a bunch of games at Arizona, but man, he can develop a quarterback. He would be an interesting name for, like, Tennessee. If you're just like, we're going all in with Cam Ward, he'd be an interesting name probably for the Giants or for Atlanta. If Atlanta even believes in Penix, right? But the Giants certainly believe in Jackson Dart. And if, like, I know that's not stylistically, but Cliff Kingsbury's developed Jaden Daniels, and he's an interesting name. That'll be a fun one to watch.
How about Cliff Kingsbury to Cleveland to develop Shedeur Sanders?
I
want to revisit this. People are kind of joking about this on social media. You think there's any steam to get Deion Sanders to come coach Shedeur Sanders in the NFL?
I think if you wanted,
I think if anybody would do it, the Cleveland Browns might.
if you really truly want to get the best of Shedeur, then yes, I think that you could make sense of that for sure. Do you think the Browns really believe in Shedeur? They passed him in the draft like 4 or 5 times.
4 times, yeah.
I don't know that they do believe in Shedeur.
Is Shedeur the starter next year? I think that's a question too.
Right? Is he? I don't know if he's the starter next year.
Back? Yeah, I don't know.
So if you now as an organization, if you're like, yeah, you know what, Shedeur showed us enough. He kind of got his act together. He defended the locker room several times. Like, and look, I think he's got a lot of flaws, but the things that I liked about him in college did translate. Right? He just is going to get out there and wear it and not be shaken by the pressure or anything like that. If you really believed in him, why not go get the coach that has gotten the best out of him his entire life, who has been better than his critics predicted at Colorado? But I don't know. I mean, does Prime have the energy to come be an NFL head coach?
Does Prime have the chops to go be an NFL head coach after the season he just?
Yeah, I think he does.
But yes. I think a year ago, after what he did there, it's like, man, he's proven it at the Big 12 level now. And then he takes a step back and they won 4 games.
Prime has the chops. Prime has the chops to surround himself with people to make him successful, which in the NFL matters.
I'm not asking the question of if he would be a good enough coach. I'm asking, does he have a resume that could justify hiring him?
He does if you believe in Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
He has the resume. I mean, people are talking about right now hiring Curt Cignetti to the Raiders so that he can coach Mendoza. What the hell's the difference, right?
Sure.
If the Browns believe in Shedeur, and I'm not sure that they do, but if they did, then yeah, go get the coach that's gotten the best out of him. That, of course, that makes perfect sense to me, especially when you know Prime's going to bring in a staff around him to be like Prime is I've been impressed. Like I've been impressed with the job he did at Colorado. I wasn't sold, but he's been better than I thought. That program sucked, and they're not great, but they're way better now than they were when he got there. Way better. And it's been weird. And can he handle the roster? He wouldn't have to do any of that in the NFL. He'd have to motivate a locker room.
He can do
be great, and he does that really well. And if anybody can tell Shedeur to shut up and play football, it's his dad. I mean, or embrace those things and get the best of him. He's been the best coach Shedeur's had. He's been the only coach in a lot of ways, but look at what it created. So I don't mind. I mean, if they did it, I think it would make sense. But I don't. But again, I don't know that they want Shedeur to be the quarterback of the future.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's a funny hypothetical to think about. Is all that is.
Stefanski. Boy, you want to talk about just like he's just like he is. There's no way he takes a job without quarterback being something. Like the Browns have made such a mess of that position and situation. It's crazy. And then you look at a team like the Raiders. I think the Raiders have had what did I see? 6 coaches since 2021.
Since 2021, they hired McDaniels, then fired McDaniels, then hired Pierce, then fired Pierce, then hired Carroll, then fired Carroll, all in 5 years, 6 years.
And they've had interims in between, right? So it's been 6 coaches in 5 years.
Yeah.
Who's taken that job?
Yeah, that can't be a recipe for success.
It's not. That's not, and that's what's too bad, because like you look at some of the pieces they have one of the league's best pass rushers. They have a talented young runner. They have Brock Bowers, who is as good as any young tight end we've ever seen. They had to trade away a talented receiver in Jacoby Myers because it was such a train wreck there. They wouldn't pay him, and he's a stud, and he's helping Jacksonville be one of the best teams in football now. They're a mess. Tom Brady, looking at you. Maybe don't stretch yourself too thin.
Maybe head coach Tom Brady. Is that what you're saying?
Might as well just give it a shot. It's hard. Nope. It's hard to stretch yourself over several different things. I can admit it. I've got like 5 jobs. It's tough. Like it's tough to keep your focus and energy. I can't imagine trying to run an NFL organization while you're on the road calling and learning about 2 completely different teams. And
it's true.
I just can't believe you. I can't believe you hire Pete Carroll in the first place And it makes it even crazier that you hire him to give him only 1 year.
I agree. I think I don't know. I kind of see the vision of firing him, not because he didn't do a good enough job, because the roster is terrible. But I think
he didn't do a good enough job. But
I think it's more so of the fact of like looking at the organization and saying like, all right, our head coach is 75 years old almost. It's like, are we going to win while he's here?
Why did you hire him in the first
place? I agree. It's a better question of why they hired him than why they fired him.
Like if you're going to hire Pete Carroll, it is to stabilize things. You got to give him a second to do it.
I agree. He needs to be he needed to be the gap guy. Like he was never going to win a Super Bowl in Vegas, but like I think you could have trusted Pete Carroll to say like, hey, give me 3 years, make us not terrible.
And that's the crazy thing is they were building a Pete Carroll roster, right? A run-based Geno Smith, who's had success with him, right? But like they aligned the roster to fit Pete Carroll's style. And now you're going to start over? What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, man, that one to me, of all the coaching vacancies, that one to me is the most curious. I think
he beat the Chiefs, and he beat the Chiefs in his last game and gets nothing for it.
That's right. Thanks, Pete. You almost cost us.
Maybe he'll be the Chiefs. Maybe he's the Chiefs' offensive coordinator. Maybe that's the question. Hey, he's a 75-year-old.
He's a defensive guy. That wouldn't be a good hire. But could you imagine if that cost them the first overall pick? Those situations are the lamest. All right, we'll come back. We got more Sports Daily coming for you here. Again, KU in action tonight. We'll look at the line there. What do we expect out of that game? Can they go and win at home without Darryn Peterson? We don't even know if Darryn Peterson is going to even play. I'm not sure we're 100% certain on that. We'll have it next for you on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on the Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on your way into work. Want to keep listening to Sports Daily even after you park the car with the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com. You can just download the app, visit Odyssey.com, or search KFH today. Don't forget, coming up after us, Dan Patrick. Boy, it was good to hear Dan back on the air. I'm telling you, I'm just so excited that Dan Patrick's following us here at 11 to 2. Jim Rome from 2 to 5 before the BetMGM programming takes over on the nightcap. So a lot of fun stuff coming for you here. KU plays tonight, TJ. 6.5-point favorites at home. You touching that with a 10-foot pole?
Darryn Peterson plays, and by all accounts, he's going to.
Right. What, Darryn Peterson plays 20 minutes?
I don't know. He is not listed on the injury report at all. Not even questionable. Not even probable.
I think he's going to play. He's
not even on there. He's healthy.
I don't think he's going to play the full game because that's not what he does.
This is an interesting conversation because this is the first year, I think, that Big 12 injury reports are a thing. And so you got to let people know 2 days before your game who's playing and who's not playing.
No, you don't.
And granted, if you don't put anything on there and you know, there's no ramifications as we saw that in football season.
Warm-ups.
Exactly. There's no ramifications as we saw in football season. You do whatever you want, but you have to say it. And if you aren't truthful about it, you're going to get asked about it at least. So he's not on there. We'll see what happens.
I wouldn't touch 6.5. I wouldn't touch it. I think they could. I mean, they definitely can cover, but until we see, we have to see them do both things in one game, be the Peterson Jayhawks and the non-Peterson good version of the Jayhawks at one time. And that is going to be one of the great coaching challenges I think Bill Self's ever faced. But if they can do it, you know, that's the second best option, obviously, to Darryn Peterson just getting healthy, which at this point, January 6th, I'm kind of done waiting for that to happen. I don't know. I think I'm to the point in my brain where I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen. He's not just going to be good all of a sudden, like health-wise. So how do you best utilize the minutes you can get from him? And how do you flip a switch for the rest of the team that when he's not on the court, you kind of have to play a different way? I think there's enough time where they can do it, but it'll be difficult.
Yeah, I think that tonight will be, as I said the other day, every game in Big 12 play now for KU will have a storyline going into it of this situation until it gets resolved one way or another, whether that be he's good or he's just not going to play anymore. Like, every game will be going into it. Like, I don't know a single player on TCU, but I'm watching this one, and I watch them all, but I'm watching this one, saying, is he going to play? How much is he going to play? When are they going to take him out? How are they going to handle this situation? And that's what every KU fan is probably doing tonight as well. Like, it's the biggest story of every single game.
And it will be until the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's not going to change, because even if he played every minute of tonight's game, are you going to be like, all right, he's good, it'll be the way it's going to be the rest of the year? No, I mean, I don't think you can do that. I think you just have to continue to say, when are his, is it cramps or whatever it is? Like, when is that going to flare up here? What I want to see tonight is, will they limit him if he plays? Will they limit him in the first half? Can you limit his minutes in the first half? Can you come out with a plan? Maybe you don't start him, right? Maybe you bring him in for the second half of the first half and then try to let him play through that way. To me, like, logically, if you're going to have the rest of the team switch gears like that, it would make more sense to have them start without him than to have him, not have him, have him. I know this is so, I know this is, these are the craziest conversations. Right?
I know.
Like, what a weird conversation.
This was an interesting one that I saw. Like, if it was anybody except Darryn Peterson, like, what if this happened to Bryson Tiller?
Oh, you'd shut him down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
but it isn't. It's the best player in the country.
Yeah.
Who gives you the best chance to be the best version of yourself. It's
true.
And is the best, player probably skill-wise to come through maybe ever. So you just deal with it. And that's the part for me, like, that piece of this isn't even a discussion or debate. I've seen a lot of, we'll just shut him down, just go on without him. Nope. Best player.
I know, like, people are talking about, and it's weird because if it was any other player in the Bill Self, last 20 years, like, maybe Andrew Wiggins has a case, like, I don't know, maybe like Frank Mason, once he became the best player in the country, may have a case or something like that. But like, the rest of these guys, like, every other player that he's had, even Hunter Dickinson, like, if they were having this issue, they just would be done. And it would just, like, listen, guys, we can't do this. We've done this.
I don't know that that's look, they let Kevin McCullough try to play through a back injury.
They did, and then they shut him down, and they said, "We're not doing this."
Shut him down, but the conversation behind the scenes was that he kind of shut himself down, and we saw Bill Self get annoyed with that. Peterson hasn't shut himself down, and again, this isn't the other piece of this is is it an injury? Are we qualifying this as an injury? It's a situation that doesn't make medical sense. And I think that also makes it difficult for Bill Self, because he can't just go to his trainers and be like, all right, what are we looking at here? It's confusing to everybody. It's confusing to Darryn Peterson. It's confusing to the medical team. It's confusing to Bill Self. It's probably confusing to Darryn Peterson's family. And so everybody, like, there's no cut and dry. There's no, like, what do you look back on here? And I can't, you're running up the court, you're playing hard, and then all of a sudden, like, you start cramping. You can't really, like, play through cramps. Like, it's not like you can't tough that out. Like, your leg doesn't work right when that's happening. So I don't know that there's anything better they could be doing. There are probably things better that they could be saying, but I don't know that they're handling it. Like, I don't know that they can handle it any better, because really the only other option is to just shut him down. And I think that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. I don't think you do that. So I think it's fine. It's not that it's a big deal because we can't figure it out. But again, I think we're to the point where KU just has to figure out how to best utilize him, with the understanding that he probably can't give you 30 minutes a game. That's it. So now that's the task. Okay. He had the long break. Didn't work. We've seen that. We saw it on Saturday. So now how do you, with knowing that it's probably going to flare up, just assume that it is, how do you try to best utilize the minutes you're going to get out of him? And to me, it would make maybe more sense to start without him and then bring him in. Hey, guys, for the first 10, 15 minutes of this game, he ain't getting out there. He'll be there, but not for the first 10 or 15 minutes. So, that version that went out to Vegas and won all your games, that's what we need for the first 15 minutes. And then we'll adjust to having the best offensive player in the country on the floor with us for the rest of the way.
It's an interesting concept because in theory that makes a lot of sense, but I mean, there's more to. I mean,
how good is this team without him? They're not good enough.
I mean, it takes a lot of I don't know if you want to call it pride swallowing to do that, but if that's what it takes, that's
based on everything I've heard the players say, they are totally willing to do that. Right? Have you ever heard any player not give you they can all see it with Peterson, how great he is.
No. I'm not saying from that. I'm saying the perspective of KU having to swallow their pride and or Darryn Peterson, which I don't think that he's an egomaniac or anything like that, but it would take them basically. That's basically them just saying we can't do it. We got to change it. And I think that that's a hard pill to swallow.
Well, it's just doing it in a little different order. We're going to see Houston and Texas
Tech. I
agree.
Tonight. I mean, it's not.
Texas Tech and Houston are playing tonight in Houston. Can KU without Peterson beat either one of those teams?
I think so. They beat Tennessee.
Maybe in their best case. Maybe if
in Allen Fieldhouse
goes for 30 whatever again. Right?
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Find that version. And I'm not technically sound enough. Listen, I can't run an offense for a 5th grade girls basketball team. Can't figure it out. How do I get so I'm not pretending like this is easy. I just think it's the best path. And I think it would be their best chance to ultimately, what are we thinking about always when we think about KU basketball? To win a national championship. The deck is stacked against them a little bit this year, but what gives them the best chance to do that? And to me, that's Peterson, but Peterson in the biggest moments of a game, right? That's what killed them against UCF. They didn't have Peterson at the end of the game, and it showed. I mean, it showed big time. They got themselves back in it. It was impressive, but you better learn how to play both with him and without him because you're going to have to do both probably in every game that you play the rest of the way. I hope.
Potentially.
I mean, that's the case because the other case is he can't play, and this team's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's still a case where he's good. I don't think it's
good. Oh, you mean healthy?
Yes. Yeah, obviously he's good. He's the number 1 pick of the draft.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to think that, but I'm kind of
I don't think it'll be for a while.
It's January 6th.
I think by the time we get to March, my brain still tells me that we're going to see a 40-minute basketball game.
I was with you. I was there until the long break and the same issue at UCF.
I know.
He's not. I mean, that break isn't coming again. So I don't know what could possibly change between now and then that it's just magically better. Rest isn't fixing it. Nothing is. Nothing's fixing it. Not practicing isn't fixing it. There's nothing that's fixing it. And I get it. Bill Self's sitting here watching the best player he's probably ever had talent-wise and saying, okay, now we got to pull him off. He's not tired. He's just carving up the defense, but we got to get him out of there. All right, pull him off. That's. How do you even do that in a close game? That's insane to even think about. So I wouldn't start with him. I wouldn't. That's how I would do it. I'd say, all right, Peterson, you're unavailable until we get to the 10-minute mark of the first half. And then we're going to go from there. That's how this is going to go.
Is that even enough? Or do you want to just make him wait till halftime?
No, I mean, if he's playing 22, again, now we're getting into the Stranger Things reference. What's the timer? He only has 22 minutes. It's 22 minutes, then you got to time it out to only get, but then what happens if there's overtime?
That'd be the most ridiculous. There's no way to do that. If I watch that basketball game tonight and he's not starting, I will not believe
You'd rather him start and then have to get randomly pulled off?
No, I mean, I like your idea, but it's not going to happen. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's just a good idea. I think it's the best idea for the rest of the team. I think we're guessing as far as it comes to Darryn Peterson, but for the rest of them, just to know, like, right out of the gate and prepare that way feels like a better option than we're just going to play him until he can't go anymore, and then we've got to just quickly not have him. That's where that seems impossible to work through to me. All right, we'll come back. We got a little more Sports Daily. Don't go away. That game, 8:00 tonight. Whew, it's gonna be a late night, early morning for us here tomorrow, but we'll be recapping it. Don't go away. We'll be right back.